Welcome to the Shot Clock, everybody. Dave Rubin, Ben Mankiewicz, Jason Rubin here with you. The greatest team in NBA history. We're going a little bit of throwback here. The 95-96 Bulls seem to take the cake, but when you compare them to the Magic, Kareem-worthy Lakers, and I like to throw out the Dumars, Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, Bad Boy Pistons. Who do you guys feel?
Such a dumb thing to say.
It's a great team, though.
That wasn't a basketball team
great
as much as a
team.
group of murderers that all did something together for a
They
year.
averaged 64 points a game.
They were awesome.
All
to
right,
watch.
let's start.
I love the highlight. I can't. Awesome to watch. I wasn't alive, but NBA hardwood
I
classics.
hated. Ben and I have talked about this a lot. I hated that team. I just hated them. I hated the way they played. I hated what they did to the NBA for 5 years after that. That bled into what the Knicks did to the Bulls. I just hated that. That wasn't basketball to me. It was just breaking people's necks and stepping on them. And I know people like that. And a lot of people say now everything's too soft. Right. I get that, but I really don't like it. So let's just start with that.
Haters. Okay. Well, haters gonna hate, and that's okay. Pistons fans support me here. I'm not a Pistons fan, but we all know that. But it seems like the Bulls and the Lakers, those two teams take the cake. I know the Birds Celtics are up there, but who do you guys have as the best NBA team of all time?
So my guess is we're all going to answer this sort of in where we were at a certain age when these teams were doing this. No?
I can see beyond that.
You can? All right. So he may go Bill Russell Celtics or something. I didn't catch many of those games.
Which of the 11 championship Bill Russell Celtics?
But what I would say is that 96 Bulls team, I watched probably 40 of those games, and they were so absolutely unbelievable.
Did you see them lose?
I saw them lose once. I think Phoenix beat them once with Barkley.
Right.
But it was, I believe Cotton Fitzsimmons was the coach. He was dead for 2 years by that point. But Barkley was on that Phoenix team, but it was at the end of his Phoenix run. And I remember when he won the game, it was as if he won his championship that he never got. That's how excited. The Bulls only lost 10 games that season. They crushed everybody in the playoffs, beat Seattle in the finals. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't lose a game until the finals. Somebody could correct me on that, but I think I might be right
in
on
the
that.
notes.
And
95, 96
they were just,
Bulls.
it was Jordan at his best. It was the excitement after, they had lost to the Magic in the playoffs the year before when Jordan had come back. And they were just absolutely unbelievable. Pippen regulated his game again after being the superstar.
They won 72 games. We look at the benchmark as 60 is the most dominant team in the NBA now. 62, 63 wins. The Lakers won 65.
Yeah.
Someone fill me in with the year here, but the Magic, Kareem, James We're Lakers. That team.
I'm guessing that's probably like 87 or so.
I think this is a silly conversation because we're talking about 1 year. And the idea of a team that means something to fans, because that's really what this conversation is about, what it means to fans.
You could still say the Bulls.
Right, that's an era.
Right.
So,
or the Lakers.
Of which culminated with the team that went 72-10. I think that team, for my way of looking at it, was too reliant on one guy, Bill Cartwright. Of course, I speak of B.J. Armstrong. I'm talking about Craig Hodges. No, so
the coach?
I believe of which team?
Of the 95-96 Bulls.
That would be Phil Jackson.
Yeah. You're not going to get a Pete Myers reference in there?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Phil Fitzsimmons.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
By the way, I looked up Cotton Fitzsimmons. He only coached the Suns for 4 years or 4 seasons in the 80s. Then he came back for maybe 2 seasons in the 90s, and he came back in 96 for some part of 1996. That was his last stint. He passed away in 2004.
More references on this 30-minute block of
I'm
shot
amazed.
clock.
I would have guessed he coached a lot of teams. I would have guessed that he was the Phoenix Suns coach for a minimum of 15 seasons.
Yeah, that's
not
funny.
a total of 6 or 7.
Well,
so for me, the best team, that it comes down to really 2 teams over an era. And it happens to work out by decades. So you could certainly make it 3. You could certainly argue the Bulls. You win 6 straight championships when you have your guy playing 6 of 8.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good run. To me, though, again, so reliant on one guy, it makes it hard for me to say they were a great team. The Lakers in the 80s, playing in, I think, 8 championships, winning 5 with Pat Riley, 8 of the 10 championships that year, and all the guys who were part of that, from the early part with Jamal Wilkes helping with Jabbar and Magic, and then adding Worthy and Byron Scott and Michael Cooper with the defense in an era when the NBA wasn't playing a lot of defense. But you got to remember, the Celtics brought these guys in throughout the 1960s, including Cousy and Havlicek, and then Cowens, and obviously mostly Bill Russell and Sam Jones and K.C. Jones.
One of the greatest winners in all of sports.
They played in all 10 championships
Yeah, that is
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah. All 10
Special. That is
championships,
special.
and they won 8. The league was not as good, so that has to factor in. But you play in 10 straight championships. It's amazing, and it was just so. That's what I think of, like a team, an era,
right?
And they end up winning. Although the Lakers in the '80s, the Showtime Lakers, and the Bulls with Jordan in the '90s are certainly
the Lakers' first championship when Magic was a rookie and he played center in the finals. Was that '80?
That was '80.
So that was '80. So think about that. They were in the finals. Won. Magic as a rookie playing center. It's crazy to think back. In '80, they were in the finals again in 1990. They lost to the Bulls for the first time. But that really
of dominance.
Yeah, I mean that's really something right there.
Yeah,
So.
it really is. Well, all right, guys, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you think the best team was? Who is your favorite team? Don't answer that, Ben.
What was Cotton
Don't
Fitzsimmons'
answer that, Ben.
best team? That's what we're asking.
Oh, God.
Who the hell was on the 1988 Phoenix Suns? Let us know in the comments right down below.
Don't forget to subscribe.